Hi everyone, welcome back to another class. So to begin with, we're going to come just straight up to the top of the mat. Today's session will be a lot of standing postures. Going to do a modified version of the primary series. Again, just warming ourselves up this month, just building up the body. This way we'll be doing a little bit more strengthening work, engaging the legs a little bit more. So we're going to begin at the top of our mat. We're going to go through the sun salutations or the namaskars first, just to warm up the body and prepare ourselves for further poses. So we're going to begin in mountain pose. So feet together, ankles together, standing up nice and tall, chin slightly tucked back. As usual, we're trying to find a nice long position, focusing on that mannequin string, pulling us up nice and tall, engaging the core. So begin to just breathe nice and deeply, slowing down the breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, so from here we're going to go through Namaskar A. So to begin with, we're going to inhale up, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, coming nice and long. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to here. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, step or feel free to hop back into chaturanga or low plank. Inhale, coming to upward facing dog. This is a bit too intense, feel free to drop the knees. Then exhale back into downward facing dog. So from here we're just going to take 5 nice long breaths. Feel free, as is the first one of the evening, either just pedaling out the legs, maybe bending the knees a little bit more so we can help straighten that back. Whatever feels comfortable for you this evening. There's no need to force it. We're not trying to break a record and get our ankles down to the ground this evening. We're just finding a nice long stretch in the back. And then on an inhale, we're going to step or hop our feet to the front of the mat into a flat back position. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up nice and tall. Then exhale, Samastatihi, which is our resting position, which is very similar to mountain pose. Okay, so that was round 1. Going to do a few more rounds just to warm up. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to a flat back. Exhale, step or hop back down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gonna stay here for 5 more breaths. See if you can keep yourself nice and strong here. Let the head hang nice and loose. Maybe looking at the wall behind you. Okay, then from here we're going to step or hop to the front of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, arms by our side. Very nice, that's round 2. Going into round 3, going to slow it down a little bit more here. Just try and engage, just float, feel that floating through the movements. So inhale, arms up. Take a nice long breath. Exhale very slowly, coming down to folded forward fold. Inhale, rising up to a flat back. Exhale, stepping, hopping back, slowly lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in and out. So that's 1. 2, 3, four, and 5. On an inhale, stepping or hopping forward, up into a flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising up nice and controlled, nice and tall. Finish off that inhale, and then exhale, float the arms down to the side. Very nice. We'll go through one more round here, just reverting back to normal speed. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, up nice and long. Exhale, stepping back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 more breaths here. Feel free to breathe at your own pace this time. Ensuring you're getting nice and deep, really filling up the diaphragm. Okay, then on an inhale, stepping forward into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up nice and tall to standing. And exhale, Samastatihi. Very nice. So this time we're going to go into Namaskar B. Very similar, only this time there's a couple of additional movements at the start and in the middle. We'll slowly make our way through them. So keeping our feet together this time, standing up nice and tall. As we inhale, we're lowering down, bringing our arms above our head into a half squat. Exhale, leaning forward into a forward fold. Inhaling up to a flat back. Exhale, stepping or hopping back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then from here, going to take our right foot and kick it forward. Turn the back foot out 45 degrees. We're going to lift up nice and strong into Warrior One. Nice big inhale. Trying to lean equally across both feet. And then exhale, coming back down again into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then on an inhale this time, we're going to bring our left leg forward, turn the right leg out, lifting up into Warrior One. Exhaling, back down to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we get to stay here for 5 breaths. So make sure they're nice and long. Settle into this pose. This is our pit stop as we go through a couple of rounds of Namaskar B. So while we're here, try to gain control of your breath again. Maybe try to see if you can get your waistband a little bit higher up towards the ceiling. Okay, then on an inhale, we're going to hop to the front of the mat to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. inhale, rise up into a half squat, staying nice and strong here. And then exhale, arms by our side. Very nice. Namaskar B will definitely be starting to activate the muscles. You might find a little loss of breath here. You're warming yourself up. It's good to see. If you find yourself starting to sweat, even better. Just demonstrates the body's working. Okay, so we're going to do another round of this. So inhaling, coming down to a half squat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to a flat back. Exhale, step or hop back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we're going to take our right leg, bring it forward, coming into warrior one. Exhaling, coming back down. Kicking back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then, similar to last time, inhale, bring the left leg forward, coming up into warrior one. Feel that nice stretch across the back leg. Exhale, coming back down again into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then we'll take 5 nice deep breaths here again. If you find your breathing's becoming a bit more sporadic, see if you can just use your core muscles, maybe engaging the muscles around the lungs. Just slow the breath down, bring it back under control. Now on inhale, we're going to hop to the front of the mat into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to standing. And exhale, arms by our side. Apologies that was supposed to be a half squat. I'll let you off with that one. So we'll do one more round here. We'll slow it down a little bit. It'll be the last round, I promise. Then we'll move on to some other postures. So inhaling very slowly, coming down to a half squat. Exhaling, as you exhale, nice and controlled, coming down into a flat back. Inhaling into nice long back. Sorry, that was supposed to be a forward fold into a flat back. My apologies. Then as you exhale, step or hop back, coming down into chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling into downward facing dog. And then on an inhale, going to take our right leg, bring it forward, slow and controlled, rising up into warrior one. Exhaling back down into chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, back into downward facing dog. And from here, lifting the the left leg, bringing it through, lifting up, nice and controlled. Exhaling back down as we go into chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling into downward facing dog. And then from here, we have our 5 breaths. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On an inhale, step or hop to the front of the mat, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slow and controlled, rise up into our half squat here. And exhale, Samastati. Very nice, everyone. Hopefully, starting to get a bit warmed up. You might find skin either sweaty or a little bit clammy. Just shows the muscles are now activated. We're starting to heat up, creating heat around the body. So, next position is Trikonasana. Just going to take our right foot. We're going to bring it behind us to point forward. Going to take our left leg. Going to point it out 90 degrees. Ideally getting our ankles in line with each other. So we don't want any shifting. We want to keep it whole body nice and aligned here. So if there was two walls, couldn't be able to budge around, wouldn't be able to push or rotate. We'll start by bringing our arms up nice and wide, nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to start reaching towards the right wall. And once we get as far as we can, curving round, ensuring we're still nice and long. And wherever you can reach that arm to, feel free to grab hold, whether it's the top of the shin, maybe the foot, if it's available to you, maybe the outside edge of the foot onto the floor. Opposing arm, staying up nice and long, aiming to touch the ceiling here. We want to try and keep the chest up nice and proud, so try and rotate the shoulders back. Depending on your level of tightness, this might feel a little bit uncomfortable. And then really pull the knees up, really engage the knees, activating the quads. And on an inhale, rise back up into a nice kind of starfish shape, sorry. Then we're going to rotate the feet round. So we're pointing now over to the left, keeping everything still nice and aligned. Keep a nice big inhale here. And then as we exhale, leaning over as far as we can go and dipping round. You might find one side might be a little bit tighter than others. At the moment for myself, this leg's being a little bit tighter, so I won't quite be able to get as low without sacrificing the posture. So we want to go as far as comfortably possible. We're not trying to force anything this evening. We want to be able to find any sort of position. We want to be able to try and hold it for up to 5 minutes. So we can't do that if we're grunting. We're sacrificing posture to be in an uncomfortable position. Go to your body's range now, and over time you'll slowly find that range to increase. You're more likely to get there. Basically, with the less effort you put in, the more you get out. Sounds counterintuitive, but it does work every now and again. Okay, bend the knee very slightly to rise up nice and tall. And then here, going to rotate the feet round again. This time, right toes pointing forward, left toes pointing out 45 degrees. And we're going to take a little bit of a twist here. So we're going to begin with our left arm up, nice and tall, reaching to the ceiling. And then as we exhale, we're going to windmill the arms round. Maybe taking our left arm to the outside edge of our right foot. If you've got a block or a cushion, feel free to put that underneath. And that'll just give you more leverage as you learn to go into the pose. Opposing arm coming overhead to lean for this ceiling. Try and pull your chest round, nice and proud. And inhaling, curving back round, getting into a nice starfish pose. And we're just going to swap the feet round here. Left feet pointing forward, right foot 45 degrees. Taking our, well actually we can just start from here. Just go ahead and start windmilling ourselves round. Take our right hand to the outside edge of our left foot this time. Left arm pointing towards the ceiling. Don't worry if you find yourself wobbling a little bit here. It means you're activating all the nice little motor control muscles. And on your next inhale, curving round, coming back into a nice starfish shape. Okay, so from here we're going to swap the feet around again. You might want to take them a little bit wider this time. Back foot pointing out 90 degrees. Front foot this time we're going to lean forward, try and get our knee to lean or basically be in line with our ankle. Back leg out nice and wide. Obviously the wider you go, the deeper of a stretch you'll receive. So go wherever is comfortable for you this evening. We're going to take our arms up nice and wide, chest nice and proud. Nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to lean forward as far as we can. And then for the purposes of this evening, we're just going to take our forearm on top of our knee here. And then take our opposing arm to either point to the ceiling, or if it's available to you, slowly bringing it overhead, coming to an angle. So you should get a nice long line from your left ankle up to the tips of your left fingers. See if you can maybe lean into the outside edges of your feet. That will provide you a more firm grounding with the floor, but it also will begin to open up the inner thigh, allowing a deeper stretch across the front body. And on an inhale, go and step back up. And again, swapping the feet around. Going to take it to the other side. So again, 90 degrees, front toes pointing out, back leg up 90 degrees, arms up nice and wide. Nice big inhale. And as we exhale, beginning to lunge forward, coming overhead. Maybe just take our forearms to the top of our knees today. Then our hands wherever is most comfortable. Then on an inhale, rising back up. And then exhale, releasing the hands. We're going to curve the feet round again, coming to our right. We're going to do a lot back and forth this evening. So we're going to go into another twist. We're going to take it a little bit easier today, just introducing ourselves to it. So we're going to come down onto our left knee here, getting to a nice low lunge, nice and seated. And then to begin with, we're going to take a nice big inhale, lift our left arm towards the ceiling, nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, really vacuuming out that lower abdomen so that we can get as much of that arm and our body across that right leg. If it's available to you, maybe taking our hand to the floor. If it's not available to you, you're not quite reaching there, feel free to take your hands together, clasping them in a prayer position, pushing against each other, trying to bring your chest round to face in front. Otherwise, if you do have your hand on the floor, feel free to either bring your hand, opposing hand, overhead, or if that's not available, maybe bringing it behind your back. And what we're doing here is we're just trying to open up the shoulders a little bit more. As you inhale, feel the intensity of that twist. And then as you exhale, see if there's a little bit of space that allows you to maybe rotate a little bit more. Just work in the space, we won't stay here too long. And 5, exhale, bringing your arm down. Take the back toes under, stand back up, and we'll rotate to the other side here to do it all over again. So don't worry if this one feels a little bit frustrating. We're just challenging the body a little bit here. Over time it'll become easier and easier. Remember when I first started doing this pose, it was almost impossible to get that rotation. And obviously there's some more advanced steps you can take now. And over time it will come, believe me. We've all been in this starting phase. So lifting the right arm up, nice big inhale. Exhale, twisting, really vacuuming out so that we can get across that back leg. Our left leg. And then either taking a prayer pose or maybe taking one arm towards the ceiling, wherever you can find a little bit of comfort, as much as you can in this pose. And 5, exhaling, coming back down. Well done for trying that tonight. That's not everyone's favourite, so well done. And come back up. And then from here, we're going to come nice and wide leg stance. So feel free to take it out as wide as you feel comfortable with. Toes slightly in, heels slightly out. Pressing into all 4 corners of the feet, and you might find your arches start to lift a little bit on the inside of the feet here. We're going to take our arms nice and wide. Really pushing through a little bit. You might feel a big stretch across the hip flexors. So we're going to go into some wide, basically wide forward folds. So begin to inhale, bring our hands to our waist, and then as we exhale, we're going to start leaning forward, pinging from the hips, pushing the bum back, and bringing ourselves over to maybe look below, in between our legs. We're going to take our hands, we're going to take them to the floor, in line with our shoulders and our feet. Take a nice big inhale, come up to a flat back, and exhale, fold forward. So take your time here, try and get comfortable. Depending on your level of flexibility, you might actually find that you can get your head to touch the floor here. And for those like myself who are naturally quite tight, have got a little bit more effort into these poses, just set that intention for yourselves. Just aiming with your mind's eye to get your head to the floor. We're still trying to stay nice and long here. We're still trying to see if we can maybe get a bit of length in the back, maybe get our waistband higher up, maybe to touch the ceiling. Obviously it won't quite get there, but we can always have that intention. Sometimes just thinking things through in a couple simple words just helps us realize where we need to move the body to. Then on an inhale, come up to a flat back. Exhale, bringing our hands to our waist. Inhale, stand up nice and tall. Exhale, arms to our side. Okay, next inhale, breathing in nice and deeply. Exhaling, folding over again, this time keeping our hands on our waist. Bit more control required in the legs. Keeping the shoulders back and away from the ears. And again, breathe nice and deeply, really filling up the diaphragm. And then as we exhale, just nice and controlled, just releasing that air through the nose. If you've got a little bit of confidence or a little bit of wiggle space, see if you can maybe put more of your body weight into the balls of your feet, just leaning forward a little bit more. And you might find that gives you a little bit more space to maybe fold over, maybe a little bit, maybe only a millimeter, maybe you don't move at all. Don't worry about it, it's just something nice to play with. Then on an inhale, one big strong inhale, we'll rise straight up to standing. And then bring our arms out nice and wide. I'm going to go for the third pose here. So behind our backs, we're going to clasp the hands together, taking a bind, really pulling the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take a nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, folding forward, maybe if it's available, take our hands and bring them overhead, wherever your shoulders can comfortably go this evening. Remember to pull the shoulders back and away from the ears. You might find there's a little bit more twist you can get. And then on an inhale, nice and strong, again just coming straight back up to standing. And then exhale, arms out and nice and wide. Then for the last one, we'll bring on an inhale, bring our arms to our waist. And then as we exhale, folding forward again, one last time. This time what we're going to do is we're going to take our middle and index fingers, and we're going to grab hold of our big toes. From here, inhale, come up nice and tall for a flat back. And then exhale, folding forward, keeping our elbows nice and high. Then from here, we're going to use that engagement between our big toes and our fingers. See if we can maybe use it to help us just pull ourselves down fractionally towards the floor. We don't have to firmly go in. It isn't like we're lifting weights or anything. Just see if that engagement just allows you a little bit further of a stretch. And that way we've now got every single part of the body engaged, utilized, activated, whichever buzzword you feel like using. Okay, we're just going to release the hands. On an inhale, bring our hands to our waist. Exhale nice and deeply. Inhale, rise straight back up to standing. And exhale, arms out nice and wide. Okay, from here, we're just going to step to the front of our mat. And then very slowly, nice and controlled, coming down onto our backs. worked the legs quite a bit today, opening up the hips, activating the quads and the hamstrings. So from here, we're just going to finish off in Shavasana, just letting the legs fold up nice and wide. If it's available to you and you want a little bit engagement across the top half, feel free here. You can either just let your hands rest by your side, palms up, or you can maybe rest in cactus pose with your elbows and the arms at 90 degrees. Tucking the chin slightly, softening or shutting the eyes. We're just going to remain here. See if you can just release all the parts of the body. Make sure no muscles are hidden and still engaged. See if you can allow them to open up and release. If you've got your arms in cactus pose, you might find your shoulders, your chest just feeling a little bit more open. Or maybe they're tensing, pulling your hands up off the floor. See if you can find a way just to ease them off. Maybe it's your lower back that's feeling a little tight. Okay, for those that want to remain a little bit longer, feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, we'll just slowly make our way up to a nice, comfortable seated position. Taking our time, no rush here. Feel free to use any blocks or cushions you may have. We're just going to finish off with whatever you want to cross your legs. Sitting up nice and tall, lift ourselves out for our lower back. One last time. Tucking the chin very slightly, imagining that mannequin string pulling us up nice and tall. And if your eyes are still softened or closed, feel free to flutter them, allow the light back in. And thank you for joining me for another session today. I hope whatever you have on, you have fun, enjoy yourselves, make the most of it. It is that January time, so we want to actively force ourselves to enjoy whatever it is we're doing, and hopefully it's one of those cases where if you fake it till you make it, that'll get you through the January period. So whatever you're doing today, I hope you have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.